We're starting. Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Victoria Nalule, and here with me is Mr. Sonnang from Cameroon. And today I'm continuing with the opinion videos where different experts are offering their opinion on the political will to develop the African energy sector. But before we start, I would like Mr. Sonnang to briefly introduce himself.
Hello, good morning. Hello, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to be part of this younger generation that is bringing its own view in respect of the energy. It inspires hope that the way we see things is going to affect our world in a positive way tomorrow. I'm very, very happy, particularly for everything that Victoria is doing, and I really want to jump on the bandwagon to apport, to bring our own contribution from Central Africa. About myself, I'm a Cameroonian. I'm born in Cameroon. About my education, I studied my LLB in Cameroon University of Buea. I studied my LLM in respect international economic law at the University of Ibadan in Nigeria. And then from there, I went to the Nigerian Law School in Nigeria, where I qualified as a lawyer and a member of the Nigerian Bar Association at the Supreme Court. And I came back to my country. I also joined the bar, the Cameroonian Bar Association. And as of present, I'm also a member of the International Bar Association, the member of the African Bar Association. In respect of my profession, when I came back, before coming to the country, before going out to do my master's, I was working as a chief legal at First Commercial Company, a company where I worked at as a company. When I came back, because of my practice, I decided to operate as corporate, as their corporate counsel, external. From there, I joined the chambers of a former president of Cameroonian Bar Association, where I worked for 3 years before setting up shop in the economic capital of Cameroon. Since 2017, I've been running my own law firm with the name of Keystone Tax and Legal. It's a young firm, and we are into legal advice, fiscality. When I'm talking of fiscality, I'm talking of tax advice, legal advice, and then we also assist. And then my particular interest as a person is energy law in Africa and arbitration. So in essence, that is who Sonnang Clovis Ndongla is. Our website is Keystone Tax and Legal. I have a website, and then my law firm is situated in the economic capital of Douala, where I'm the managing partner. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sonnang, for the introduction. So we shall move forward to the opinion, your opinion on the African energy sector. And I'll just read it out briefly. So, Sonnang, you opine that African nations should not jump too quickly on the bandwagon of energy transition without giving due consideration to the potential our natural resources have in the development of our countries. We need to invest in local know-how, and our governments must forge policies that promote local content development. So in summary, what I see from your opinion is you're emphasizing on the need for local content and also on the need for African countries to have unique policies that will enable them to benefit from their resources. Could you please expound more on this opinion?
Yeah, thank you for dissecting very easily my opinion. I always have opinion, very strong opinion in respect of energy transition. And I think one thing that struck me about Victoria is that she came out with the idea of like she's not a one energy transition. So we share opinion. Energy transition is like we should leave our fossils and move directly into renewable resources. Why I think it's a good idea. It's going to protect the ozone layer. But what about us? When I look at energy transition, the advice why I think Africans should not run fast and follow the bandwagon COP21 and say energy transition and all that is because when I look at some superpowers like America started exploiting oil in the 1880s. Rockefeller and his Standard Oil. Up to today, they're still exploiting oil. And everyone knows that the biggest super majors in the world, the ExxonMobils, the Chevron, the Texacos, all of them were American companies. Up to today, the American economy depends on oil. We are very young countries. We started, for instance, Cameroon discovered oil in 1947, and exploration of oil actually started in 1972. Means we still have a lot. Development of a well to full production and where you can stop it takes 20 years. So we are still on the way. And when I look at the fact that, for instance, the National Hydrocarbons Company of Cameroon, it brings at least 300 billion Cameroonian francs CFA into the budget of Cameroon. And to say that we have not even started exploiting our oil, and to say that transparency is not 100%. What if we are allowed to exploit, to invest heavily on our energy? Imagine what the National Hydrocarbons Company is going to bring into the budget of Cameroon. Then I look at the fallbacks. Once the country the government can be able to self-finance itself without depending on taxes, without depending on anything, it's going to help us. Why? Because the tax burden is going to go down. So I believe that we should be very, very cautious as Africans. We should be very, very, very cautious when we are talking of energy transition, struggling to move to renewables. I think we are not yet there. Norway, which is one of the top countries in respect of per capita income, still depends on oil. The North Sea, where Victoria, where you people studied around the University of Dundee, the North Sea is still exploiting oil today. I think we Africans, we should concentrate and and then be able to train ourselves, have experts which can, at those international fora, defend our view that economic development should be our priority. And this brings me back to what they call the strategic development goals, sustainable development goals. I am preparing a paper where I'm trying to say it's difficult to reconcile the goals of, say, you are eliminating poverty, economic empowerment, and then on another part, you are struggling to reduce emissions. That is the first part in respect of energy transition. Then the second one is local content. I am a very, 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 very strong supporter of local content. I studied in Nigeria, and I discovered that the Nigerian economy today, where we have the big names, the Dangote, which is one of the African multinationals owned by Black, it is because the military government at the time developed local content. Why? Companies like Lafarge, who were producing cement, there was an insistence that they were going to train local personnel. They were going to give scholarship for locals to go and train and gain possibility in processing cement. They were going to train people in top schools like Harvard to be able to know how to manage. They were going to train people in finances, give them experience. Then at a certain point, once they acquired that experience, government decided now to empower them, or to empower some business people with capital. And on that ground, they were able to compete international companies. That is why Dangote today is a strong competitor with Lafarge Cement. The same thing also can be applied in cement. Now, we have measures in Cameroon. Chevron just purchased Noble Petroleum, and they have a gas, liquefied natural gas project along the Yoyo Plateau and Yolanda in Equatorial Guinea. One thing the Cameroon government can do in signing the concession to say, no, Chevron, you are going to offer us, every year you're going to offer us 30 scholarships for people to study in Dundee, for people to study in Dundee, for people to study in Aberdeen, that when they go there, they will come back and with their knowledge, like Victoria is sharing now, they're going to see from a different way and they're going to develop us. The same thing, train engineers, oil engineers, train managers, you are entitled. And then some things like catering will tell you that exclusivity in respect of anything that is taking place, if it's onshore exploration, all catering services shall be offered by local firms, owned by local firms. Now, it adds value to the economy. Why? Because we have younger people that can get into business and then do what we say in French, tirer les bénéfices. Then also in respect of professional development, every big developer or every big manager or every big director or every big engineer should have a Cameroonian, for instance, I'm talking of the Cameroonian example, should have an African understudy, where the understudy is observing is one of the conditions. Immediately, he acquires that experience. Government can have money to be able to empower them. I think our countries, our governments should have strong local content laws, like what operates in Ghana, what late President John Atta Mills employed, strong local content law. But I need to strike a balance between strong local content law and encouraging or inviting foreign direct investment. There should be some sort of softness or mildness. We should not put strong local content like the situation which is happening in Tanzania now, where because of the very, very strong local content law, most international oil companies are reticent to come and invest. Why? Because at the moment, we don't have the requisite capital, finances. Even if we have the finances, we cannot be able to mobilize easily the large sums of capital that is required for oil exploration. So we still need those oil companies. So we should encourage them. There should be a balance in policy devices by government to encourage local content development and capacity building. A quota in respect of positions in government, we should raise a quota and then specify where governments should be, and then exclusivity in catering services and all that. Apart from that, I think the biggest thing is political will. If we have governments, if you look at the situation of Equatorial Guinea, the country developed itself based on oil. It was a very poor country. It developed itself is because of the president's political will. He decided that the country was going to develop from its oil. I think we need strong men at the helm of our state to be able to decide, and we also need strong laws. And even if we have those strong laws, we need people with good minds and good will to be able to ensure the implementation of that. It goes to our legal system. And then we also need the development of a conflict resolution, which is going to encourage strong conflict resolution, not only the courts, which is going to encourage IOCs to come and invest in our countries. And then our countries, once they are trained, those people that have allowed those IOCs to train those people either by scholarships, local capacity building. Now, government should give more capital to NOCs. One of the biggest, most profitable countries in the world presently is the national oil company, Saudi Aramco. I think if our African governments can take from that example, we can have, in the long run, we have Petrosen in Senegal, which are going to be a powerful IOCs, NLPC in Nigeria, powerful NOCs, and they also can be players in the African energy sector. I think apart from that, that is my opinion in respect of energy transition. I think it elaborates in substance what I wanted to say in my opinion. So thank you, except if there's any question, I think that's what I want to say.
Yes, thank you very much, Sonna. You've raised very, very important issues. I like the fact that you analyze or you highlight the unique challenges we have in Africa. And as such, we shouldn't just jump and implement what other developed countries are doing. We should be genuine about our own problems and find unique solutions to those problems. So I've liked the issue you've raised about local content. And I want to ask a follow-up question with respect to local content. I see many African countries have sent their people to do these energy jobs. And for instance, in Uganda, myself, I'm from Uganda, the government has sent many experts to do these energy courses, but still we feel the issue of local content is not really, the policies are not being implemented very well. And we see many local people are not benefiting from the resources, or they're not benefiting from the job opportunities. What do you think African countries should do to effectively implement the local content policies? What must be done?
Well, in respect, you have raised a very, very crucial issue. That's, I don't know what is the situation in Uganda, but it's very normal in African countries. Who are those who usually benefit from these scholarships? It's not I and you who love energy, who want change. At the level of government, the way we have the challenge, what I'm saying, there needs to be political will. We need to put, look at the Chinese. The Chinese countries developed today because they sent their children At the certain point, Chinese government was training 40,000 engineers in the US per year at the cost of the government. But before going, you were supposed to sign a document that you're going to come back and implement in your country. And what happened? What was the criteria that led to you being selected to go and do to go and study? It was merit. You need to be intelligent. You need to be ambitious. But these days, those scholarships or those trainings are given to ministers' children. They're given to family members. And then when they go there, they don't have the desire to come back and study. I think our governments needs to look ourselves and ask ourselves that we need economic patriotism. If we are training people, we should train people who are economically patriotic. And then secondly, the government is also policy. Secondly, government should also ask themselves that this engineer that I've trained, even he signs that he's going to come back and work with me, how much am I going to pay him? It's not just about patriotism. He has to ask himself that, for instance, if I'm asking myself, what does Victoria earn working for the University of Dundee? If I'm offering him something to come back and work for the University of Kampala, will that be able to encourage them? Then we have the attitude now in Africa. We should be able to raise the bar, raise the standard to encourage people to come back. So I think it goes back to our governance, institutions of governance. Now, in respect of, it's a very crucial area. It's an issue because all African countries which have oil resources, they know that oil resources, either by taxes or either by royalties, go in financing the budget. So they have to take that area very, very, very serious. I think it comes back to policy, political will, and then economic. I don't know what you've heard about economic patriotism, like the love for the country to develop economically. I think I wonder whether I addressed your worry.
Yes, you've addressed it very well, because you've raised a very important issue of our governments should give the scholarships to people who are enthusiastic and passionate about the sector, so that when they come back, they can actually make a change and not just give the scholarships to relatives and people who are not passionate. So that's really a very good issue with respect to local content. And I will not ask any follow-up questions, but I would like you to give us the closing remarks. In summary, what should we do in Africa? Just in summary, in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I will not say that. The first thing first is, like I said, in my opinion, Africans, we should take our time. And we, the experts, we may not be the top experts like your lecturer, Professor Cameroon, but tomorrow, 20 years from now, we are going to be the voices that should be speaking. I think we should take it one step at a time. In those seminars, we should also present international seminars. We should present arguments why we think, based on our position as developing countries, we should not transition right away. We can still make good. We can still make use of our fossils. Why? Because the market is there and our economies are still developing. Secondly, governments need to, like in my country, we had a new petroleum law last year. The law was more interested in inviting more foreign direct investment, but the area on local content was very, very vague. But they said they need to be determined by law. For instance, in my country, we are pushing hard that the government should pass a law on local content, and it should attack all the areas: education, local content building, financial development, giving on contracts and all that. It's amazing that there are some super measures operating in some African countries that have catering services that are also multinationals. It should not be. It should not be. The local economy should benefit from that. And then they should give quota in respect of positions. We said, no, there's a certain number of employment duties that you are supposed to give your people, and then exclusive in certain areas. I think if government takes that serious, if government looks at economic patriotism, like how do we let our economies grow? Even though we are investing foreign direct investment, we are inviting, or we are depending on foreign direct investment. How? Because someone who comes to your country and invests, at the end of the year, once he declares dividends, if the shareholders are in the UK, if the shareholders are in the US, that amount is sent out, it goes out, right? Yeah, so we need to be able to have a situation where some of that money that is invested by international oil companies stays in our economies. I think that will go a long way to also develop economies. Not only a financing, we also have the knowledge stored, so technology and know-how. Also their equipment. Once some of those equipment that they bring to drill their oil with, they are supposed to sign contracts that some of them, after some time, it becomes our property. Then now we can pass them to the national oil companies. And if the national companies have a know-how already, we'll discover ourselves that in the long run, we can depend on ourselves for the moment. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sonna. This marks the end of our video. I've really enjoyed your video. I've enjoyed your views. They're very, very good and unique views and opinions that I think if African countries can follow that, then we shall see a lot of development from the energy sector, and we shall see that our people will be able to benefit and not only suffer the resource curse. So this marks the end of the video. It's live on YouTube. I have already tagged you on social media. Do share with your contacts, share with them the video, and also do not forget to subscribe. Thank you very much and have
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Victoria. Have an excellent weekend. And God bless you for what you're doing for the African energy sector. The future belongs to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.